We're gonna make this a short one, man. The European Diaspora. Diaspora. What's a diaspora? Yeah, so what does this mean? What is the European Diaspora?
Well, 1 second. I'm going to tweet this little shit show we have. Well,
yeah, I mean,
we're scattered throughout the world, and wherever Europeans are, perhaps should show solidarity with them, particularly if they're being abused. It seems like throughout the world, they are being abused. Oh, by the way, we're going to do a later show. There's a gentleman with the Skype assholes who has some important information. I think we're going to get the son, one of the children of the Skype assholes, on the show. Maybe today. And
all right. Have you been in contact with this person?
Yes.
Through Skype?
And I'm telling him now that we are doing a show now.
From 1815 to 1932, 60 million people left Europe.
Yes. And like I said, this white guilt thing, it's almost like we don't have an identity anymore. We don't feel solidarity. And I don't think we should feel solidarity to abuse or even to brag. But when we're being abused, we should definitely feel some form of solidarity. Like, hey, don't do this to us. Other groups do that. Why can't people of European descent do that as well? There are a lot of attacks, particularly, we're reading about what's happening in Sweden and Germany, the massive rapes. What happened in England, I think it was Rodham.
By the way, a topic we covered many, many times in some of our real lengthy conversations with Blog Talk Radio and even here on Spreaker. And now you see that as a mainstream thread in politics.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's just something that people don't talk about. And this idea of talking about it or being rapist, or racist, to talk about the rapes that are going on in Europe by foreign immigrants, particularly Muslim immigrants. In England, someone said like 1,400 women were raped. Native English girls, were being raped by Pakistani men. I guess they call it grooming and sending them and trying to basically kidnap them, rape them, and send them into prostitution.
Didn't know that. Where are you getting those facts? Is that just
You know what? You might want to look up rapes in England by Pakistani men. Just Google it, or I think it's the country of Rodham. And this is I've heard this from Dennis Prager. I've heard this from just different sources that said that the rapes in England were awful, and nobody said anything about it because of the fear of being labeled a racist. And it's absurd, the stuff that we as people of European descent, not just in America, but throughout the world, the kind of things that are done to us, and we say nothing about it because we are afraid of being called racist. And it's almost like, it's almost like, and there are active people out there that want to stop the speech. It's almost like they're active, like they want us to be masochists. And it seems like other groups of whites.
And you haven't really jumped on board with me yet, but I feel a Mr. Midnight movie and Jewish producer trip to Europe is going to happen, and I believe we have a better chance of finding a large audience in overseas in England across the pond, and I think we do very well over there with theories like this. Information.
Well, I mean, and there are people who espouse it, and I think better than I do. Douglas Murray speaks about it, far more superior, in my opinion, than I do. But you're probably right in England. But I think this is it seems like this perverted civil rights movement is all over the world, not just in America. Because really the civil rights movement is primarily an anti-white, or, if you want to say it technically, an anti-European descent movement that's happening worldwide, and even in the countries that were, the lands that they lived. And they're being bullied and thugged and treated really foul. And anytime they try to put up resistance, it's almost shut down. It's almost like the will to fight is not there anymore, and it's sad. And maybe we should bring up the will to fight, particularly like in America on these college campuses where people are being shut down. I hope Donald Trump sends in the armed guards in there and starts arresting some of these people and putting them in jail for violation of the First Amendment. And I think there should maybe be some form of special federal law that can be put into action that prosecutes these violators of our First Amendment rights. And definitely these college campuses should not be getting any funding where they allow their students and faculty to run roughshod and do harm to people.
Big welcome to Loose Bruce. I think he's our only listener tonight so far.
Yes.
It's nice to have listeners. It's nice to have people in the chat room asking questions. What is diaspora? Diaspora? I don't even know. What the hell is diaspora? So it's the spread of it's European immigration, right?
Well, no, it's not. Because there's also the African diaspora. There is the Jewish diaspora. There is, it's just basically we're spread apart throughout the world. Now, some people say because we control and rule things, but that's not the case anymore. We've been brainwashed to a sense. People of European descent have been brainwashed to feel so guilt-ridden and just accepting anything that comes down the pike. Massive immigration, mistreatment, racist behavior. And it seems like only whites are the only ones that are forbidden to participate in racist behavior. All other groups are allowed to show group preference, even when they're wrong. But whites, if they come to defend themselves, they're considered wrong, and they're considered racist.
Now, when we're talking about immigration arrivals in the 19th and 20th centuries, by far, United States leads the pack, 32 million arrivals. Do you know who is second?
Who is second?
Take a guess.
As far as arrivals?
Arrivals, anywhere in the world.
As far as immigration is concerned?
Yes, and we're talking about immigration arrivals in the 19th and 20th centuries combined. from 1821 to 1932.
Well, if we're talking about the early years, I'm not really sure, but I might say England.
All right. Now this is now I'm looking at European Diaspora.
But I'm just curious.
European.
What nations? Let me ask you a question.
Argentina. Argentina was number 2. Okay, yeah.
Argentina was number 2. Now I was going to ask, what nations? What nations have the large? Besides the United States, what are the other nations that people immigrate to?
Well, Argentina, number 2. After that, Canada. Mm-hmm. And then they went after the big butts. Landed in Brazil.
No, but I'm asking today, like all over the world, what nations, what countries do most? I mean, most people are obviously, we have the largest amount of immigrants, but I wonder what nation is second.
Yeah, I don't see that on the list.
I'm going to Google that right now.
Yeah.
What is the second? See, we're doing this all on the cuff. What a bunch of bullshitters we are.
Yeah, we do some real good research.
Yes.
Crackpot sociologists.
Yes, we are.
Brazil has a ton of white immigrants.
Yeah, they tried to do that. Let me take a look here. Okay, the largest immigrant groups over time. Top 5 countries. Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Give them to me. What are they?
Oh, actually, and we're not. You know what? We're not even number 1. Top 5 countries that take the most immigrants, and I think this is actually recently. Germany is number 1.
Argentina number 2.
No. Canada is number 2. United Kingdom is number 3. United States is number 4, and Sweden is number 5.
Swedish.
And they're all, everybody's immigrating to countries that have large amounts of people of European descent. Either it's Europe or it's a nation, or it's nations with large amounts of people with European descent.
Yep. All right. So, do we have any more fun stats to throw out there? Anything else you want to wax poetic on, or do we want to end this?
You know what? I think we kind of want to end it. I'm going to get my sorry ass to bed. It is fun, but you want to get to bed early. Early to bed, early to rise. It's what made our country great.
Loose Bruce made a good point. It's also immigrants are looking for countries with good porn. Absolutely.
They are. They don't want to go to Muslim countries because they behead pornographers. Mm-hmm. Ron Jeremy being one of them.
Yes.
I'm kidding. They didn't chop his head off. He played a sheik, though, one time.
He did.
And many Jewish porn actors, I think, have played the sheik role. Played Arabs quite convincingly. One of them was in, I forget his name. I think it was Herschel Savage. Played a sheik in Barbara Dare's first movie, Harem Girls, and it was very hot. I think he wrote some of the lines himself. He said, "Which one of you wenches is going to make the mighty Sultan come first?" Which was simply an amazing line and an amazing scene. And it was a stroke of genius. Jewish genius.
Yes, it is. And,
Now, Loose Bruce says we do the worst shows on the planet.
Yes. We strive for the worst.
We strive for horrible shows, and we thank you for being here. Because
there's actually some pretty decent shows on right now. You could be listening to them.
Yeah. And Dare... Now, JP thinks Barbara Dare is still hot.
I do.
At least the last videos that were seen of Mrs. Barbara Dare. Surprised me she had kind of a thick New York accent, which was a turnoff. She was considered the Jap of porn, the Jewish American princess of porn. She was also known for not doing black guys. For whatever reason. I don't know why she was...
She wasn't alone. Yeah. She just happened to be more famous than a lot of the actresses who declined.
Yeah, well, you get to pick your own stars. And well, what I've also heard is, particularly in... I know in the DVDs and stuff, sometimes when porn stars do black men, they lose their... white men who rent the porn aren't going to rent after they've been with Blackzilla. Yeah, you know what? And Loose Bruce is right. She was hot. She had a nice tits and butt, and a really bad. He says a really bad tattoo. I thought she had a very beautiful tattoo. I think a flower tattoo near her crotch area, which was absolutely wonderful. Loose Bruce, you're wrong again, and our show is magnificent. That's about all I have to bloviate on about this subject. I think I'm going to contact the Berkeley Republicans. They've been very mistreated, and I think that we need to do some shows on college campuses to really do horrible shows there, and see if we can push some buttons.
Yes, and we're going to land some interviews in the meanwhile.
And spray some powder on people.
Yes, can't wait. We'll tune in again. We'll have some more shows, longer shows, more episodes coming soon.
Thank you.
Sure. You just got called a fat cocksucker. What's up, Velton?